Pickard. Today we're going to talk about how to move around the fretboard. Oh, let me know that you guys can see me. All right. Hey guys, this is Stephanie. I'm going to talk to you guys about moving around on the fretboard effectively. So let me know that you can see me on YouTube and on Facebook, and we'll keep going. So this is a really cool topic. I like this topic a lot because I think that when I was first starting out, not a lot of people helped me with this. So I think it'll be cool to help you guys with some of the things that I've learned along the way too. If you can see me, say hi. All right, I'm going to check in with you guys. So as always, if you haven't checked out our YouTube channel already, please subscribe to us at youtube.com/guitarcontrol. Check out our website, guitarcontrol.com, and we'll do about 30 minutes of lesson and then a 15-minute Q&A. So if you have questions for me, feel free to ask. I'll answer some during the time too, but we'll have that special time just to do that. Any questions about whatever. Cool. Hi, Black Viking Prince. Hi, Richard. Awesome. Portland. That's cool. Hi, Matt. Cool. Looks like we're good on YouTube. But yes, I'll have a special code for you guys for hanging out with me. It'll be a lot of fun. Looks like we are good everywhere. Hi, Raymond. Hi, Denny. Hi, Tim. It's cool. So also, if you guys... Alright, cool. Also, if you guys have any suggestions too for other streams, these are topics that are picked directly from you guys. So that's really cool. Show bass guitars and amps. I don't have any bass guitar. Well, my fiance has a bass guitar. He has a couple bass guitars, but I have to like turn the camera around and show you all of our guitars, but they're in the other room. All right, let's see. But I'll show you my amps if you guys can see me. So this is always hard. There we go. There's my amp. I don't know if you can totally see it, but I use Axe FX 2 with a Matrix Power amp. And those are this way. Those are Steven's amps. So he has that Ingle Powerball, and he has a couple orange cabs that are really cool. All right, so yes, I want to talk to you guys about a couple things that I think will make this easier, a couple exercises, and just kind of having fun with the guitar too. So let's see, cool, Wisconsin, very cool. So one thing that we will go over is moving around in octaves and seeing the guitar in intervals. And I may have brought this up before because this is something that I really like and I found insanely helpful when it was taught to me. So I will show you what I'm talking about. So if you know your normal scales and stuff, that's awesome because you know the guitar scales in one way. But another cool way is say that you're not comfortable with all those shapes and there's two that you're primarily comfortable with. If you can use intervals to kind of connect them, or even see scales horizontally, like linearly, like everything, you know, don't see scales one way. So see them all around the guitar and just be able to move around that way, or at least connect shapes that way. So one thing that you will notice on the guitar that's kind of random is that, watch, I'll show you. So, sorry, your comments come in at the same time, so sometimes it's distracting. All right, so one thing that you will notice on the guitar when we're talking about intervals is that the guitar seems to repeat in these kind of shapes. So the first shape that I'll give you would be just the bottom of the minor scale, and it would be putting your pointer on the 5th fret, 1st string. But it doesn't really matter what fret you're using because this is just honestly the shape. So whole step to half step. Just that shape. And then if I were to replace my next finger with the finger before it, so meaning replacing my ring finger with my pointer. So again, I want to make sure I give you guys those finger numbers. So finger numbers. So my pointer is on the 5th fret, 1st string. My ring finger is on the 7th fret, 7th fret, 1st string, and my pinky is on the 8th fret, 1st string. So and again, it's whole step to half step. So now I'm going to replace my ring finger with my pointer. So remember, we had that half step, so I'm going back to a half step. So 7, 8, and then grabbing the 10th fret with my pinky on the 1st string. And then I'm going to replace my middle finger with my pointer and do that whole step, whole step. So we had 3 patterns that we moved around. We went whole, half, half, whole, 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 and then guess what? We repeat whole, half, half, whole, 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 whole. So you can move around the guitar like that. So that's one way to kind of see the guitar that way. And when I'm thinking of things that I want to tap, that's how I'm thinking. I'm seeing the guitar in shapes and thinking in intervals. So I'm like, okay. Right? It's not going to be right next to it. You won't have 3 in a row. That's really dissonant. It's really chromatic. So that's one way to just kind of look at the guitar. I like to use this method too when I'm improvising and just kind of grabbing notes outside. So if I'm going... I think I kind of got that idea from Zakk Wylde from Miracle Man. When he does that bend, he like taps it and pulls it off the guitar. I always thought that was really cool. So every once in a while when I'm improvising, sometimes I'll just go ahead and go a whole step above where I am while I'm bending it. And just kind of tap it and bring it down. Or you can slide, or sometimes I'll just slide that note a whole step out. I always think slides are really cool. But yes, thinking in intervals. So shifting around the guitar in intervals and logically and knowing your notes. So that's going to lead us to how to kind of know your notes and the patterns. So there are patterns of scales. I don't know how advanced you guys are or how much you've gotten into this, but remember, if you feel a little lost with any of these things, I try to simplify as much as possible, but we also have tons of videos on our YouTube channel. So if there's something that's not connecting or you needed to go a little more in depth on a topic, leave a comment. Let us know that you either want a video on that or check our YouTube and make sure that we don't already have one. So there'll be categories too up there that say, you know, these live stream lessons, so they'll say exactly what you're going to learn in that video, or the categories will say exactly like theory or technique or rock or, you know, songs from the 70s, so things like that. Oh, I'm sorry, Richard. Richard has a broken string. That's the worst. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Scotty. Hi, Robert. Hi, Jack. Cool. So, oh, Scotty said to play something. I was playing something. I'm explaining things. There's something. But, oh, and yes, so along the same topic as moving the guitar in octaves, I was talking about knowing a scale one way, right? So a really popular scale is the minor scale, just played like this. So I'll walk you through that scale, and then I'll show you this concept that you can apply to all scales. Let's see. Let me move this back a little bit. So when I play the scale that way, I can improvise in that pattern. I can slightly use what I was talking about, how I just went. I didn't do that fancy one backwards, but I did the one up. So I'm just moving around and maybe grabbing a note out of another scale or another pattern that way. So those are slipping in those intervals. But now, I'm going to walk you through the scale and then show you a really cool way to totally move all over the guitar neck. So starting on the 6th string, I'm going pointer, 5, 7, 8. Then on the 5, 7, 8, pointer, ring, pinky. Then on the 5th string, I do the same thing. Then on the 4th string, I just go 5, 7, so just pointer to ring, finger. And then come out of that little box for a second, and I use my pointer on the 4th fret, 3rd string. Middle finger on the 5th fret, 3rd string. Pinky on the 3rd string, of course. 7th fret, and then I go back in, and I go 5th fret, pointer, 6th fret, middle finger, and then pinky on the 8th fret. And then the 6th string and the 1st string are always the same because they're both E's. So back to 5, 7, 8. And I use that knowledge of knowing that the guitar repeats in those interval shapes, right, to know, okay, if I want to grab a note outside of it, what am I going to grab, you know? I know I'm not going to go half step, right? Ugh, it does not sound good. I know I'm going to go half step, whole step. And you can make it a lot more interesting by doing slides and stuff, and obviously not just going straight up the scale. So the other thing that I think will totally blow your minds and change everything for you if you haven't done this already is to take any scale. So these are any shapes that you know. We'll use the one that we are using now since I just showed it to you. So if you didn't know scale before, you know one now. Actually, I'm going to check in on you guys really quick too. Cool. Thanks, Richard. Hi, Larry. That's okay. If you guys are just watching and not playing, that's cool too. You can always watch this again and grab your guitar or take these ideas and start playing after and do your own thing. All right, let's see. Yes, Kenny was asking what scale. Yes, it is A minor exactly. I was just coming out of this scale and grabbing other notes. They're still in A minor. They're just not in that position. Excuse me. All right, so let's go ahead and take that A minor, but Kenny, you can take any scale you want to do what I'm going to show you next. And I did a lesson all on, oh, thanks Raymond. I did a lesson all on the modes too. So seriously, take this and apply it to all the modes. I just like minor because it's dark, and I don't know, I'm not a very dark person, but I tend to like that kind of music. So for me, that's just, I think it's fun and I just think it sounds the coolest. So I'm going to take one octave of this shape. So when we play this chord, you know, just a quick theory, little blast for you, is scales have 8 notes. The first and the 8th note are the same. They're an octave, so I guess you could say they have 7 notes. So an octave is the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So this. Somewhere over the rainbow, right? So that interval is an octave. It's the same pitch, and one's lower and one's higher. So it's a different voicing of the same note. So there's tons of A's all over the guitar, right? So that being said, I'm going to take one octave of this scale, and I'm going to show you something, how to quickly move it around without having to learn all these patterns too. So now that we know our pattern I just showed you, oh, and you know, triad is a chord, so that's a root, a third, and a fifth, but we're going to do the whole octave. So, and a minor scale has a flat 3, and a major has a normal 3. So this is minor, flat 3, and I don't know, I'm telling you all the scale stuff. I have my scale lesson, so you should check that out on my modes. And I have an interval lesson if you want ear training too. So let's go ahead and try that one octave of this A minor scale. So 6th string, I'm going to stop when I get to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So just 6th string, 5, 7, 8, 5th string, 5, 7, 8, and then 4th string, 5, 7. So that is one octave, right? So technically, if I play this, and this note are the same, shouldn't I be able to go? I should, right? So I can go and do a shred lick like that. And the reason that one looks a little different is because of the tuning of the guitar. So you'll know if you've ever tuned your guitar, like, you know, this way we go. Sorry. There we go. If you ever tuned your guitar that way, you'll know that the guitar is slightly different. So it's not spaced exactly the same. When we get to that 2nd string, that's where it's different. So because we got to that 2nd string, that's why I moved up one extra half step. We didn't go there. And so using this knowledge too, you can do whatever you want with that. So you don't have to just play it up like that. You don't have to play it there. You can land on the A if you want. But you don't have to do it just like that. You can do whatever you want. You can string skip it, do anything. But it's a cool way to start getting you to kind of see these shapes and see everything in different ways than maybe you normally look at it. Another really good thing to do is learn the notes on the guitar, and also learn the octave patterns. So you may have heard of the cage system, or how we call scales by patterns. So there are 5 different patterns, It's really good to learn the octave patterns because then it's easier to fill them in too, and to learn the note names on the guitar. So if you don't know a ton of theory, that's okay. It can be as simple as just knowing that if you looked at a piano where it's a lot easier to see things, it's literally black and white. The white keys are just our letter names, and the black keys are our sharps and flats. So that's why it's so easy on the piano, or easier on the piano, to just see theory, because on the guitar it's not like that. I mean, even when you have fret markers, it's not specific to a fret marker. It doesn't mean anything. The guitar just means a half step is right next to each other, frets that are right next to each other, and a whole step has one in between. So that's the only thing. So if you don't know your note names, you're a little in not a great position when you're trying to figure stuff out. So the note names are E, A, D, G, B, E. Elephants and donkeys or dogs grow big ears. Or I've heard Elvis always drives good BMWs everywhere. That's pretty good too. So anything that helps you memorize those. And then again, if you get back to that theory and you know that there's two spots on that piano where there is no black key, those are our natural half steps. So those are just, there's no such thing as a sharp or flat in between those notes. And those are B and C and E and F. So on the guitar, if you know that, you know to just go right next to one another. And if you know your note names like we just said, you can easily find everything on the guitar. So when you're first starting out playing this note game, if it's not very easy at first, try and do that. So this sixth string I know is E, right? So E to F, because I said there was natural half step, just right next to one another. Sounds like Jaws. And, you know, E, if I had a fret, would be here, obviously, but it's the open string to the first fret. The next note is an F sharp or a G flat. So it has two different names, depending on the scale. So if you have a scale that had an F in it, you wouldn't want to have F, F sharp, and then A, you'd want to have F, G flat, A, or whatever position you end up getting yourself in. So F sharp or G flat, G sharp or A flat, A sharp or B flat, B, C right next to it. So 7th to 8th fret is B to C. C sharp or D flat, D sharp or E flat, and then E. So when we get to the 12th fret, everything repeats. So that's also an octave on the guitar. That's why people sometimes want 24 frets. Like I have 24 frets, so I have 2 full complete octaves on my guitar. Also, so that note game, I think it's really cool. This helped me a lot, is to find all the letters on the neck. And you're not, the game is, this is what I played when I was going to school for this. You're not allowed to use any open strings, and you're not allowed to go past the 12th fret when you're just starting off. And when you get better and better at this, you can put a metronome on, and you can start with whole notes, like 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, whole note lasts 4 counts, 1, and changing on those whole notes. Then when you get a little bit better, try doing half notes, then quarter notes, then eighth notes, and then go as crazy as you want. Or, maybe even better, is to also change the note. So don't do the same note every day. So if I'm doing A, and you can also, because I told you all those notes, you can easily find these. It might not be easy at first, but the more time you put into it, it will get a little easier. Let me make sure you guys are still all good. Cool. Hi from Minnesota. Do I like to go back to this guitar? I do like to go back to this guitar because it's my custom. So obviously I like it because I designed it. So it is what I like to do. Thank you, Kenny. That's awesome. Let's move more darker than minor. We good. Alright, so let's go ahead and find those notes. And Brian said cage. Yes, the cage system. The cage system is when you look at these patterns and these octaves and they're based off of those chord shapes. C, A, G, E, and D. Oh. Thank you, Guitar Control. It looks like I commented myself. Awesome. So the note game. Let's take a look at this. Oh, thank you, MJ Holmes. Yeah, I got to design this guitar, so that was a really cool thing for me. I got to get my DiMarzios in. I got a Floyd. They kind of were trying to do stuff with this body, and I really liked this body, so I got lucked out. I got to use this body, and it's a real piece of lace, so it was just kind of cool. I got to kind of put my own touch on it, and you know, the neck is kind of cool. It's a little bigger than most necks, so that when you're bending, it doesn't slip over. So just got to put some kind of cool touches in that I really like. All right, so back to that note game. So A, I'm using the note A, so if you want, grab your guitars now. I am tuned down a half step, so I do apologize if we are going to sound really dissonant, but someone said they wanted something even darker, so there you go. It doesn't get much darker than that. So grab your guitars, and remember, the game is you cannot use an open string and do not go past the 12th fret. So on the 6th string, my 6th So on the 6th string, 5th fret, that's our first A. Remember? E, F. I'm just going to jump when it's a whole step. G, A, right? So A. Then A on the next string, remember we did E, A. So the next note is A. So we couldn't use that open string, but we did learn that the 12th fret is exactly the same. That's when everything starts repeating. So A. So our first two are 6th string, 5th fret, and then 5th string, 12th fret. So bum, bum. And then the most classic octave pattern you probably do know is this shape. The somewhere over the rainbow that I showed you. That you probably played when you're playing an octave. Right? So this is just our most simple, most normal octave shape, right under the power chord. So you know how sometimes that's optional. Fattens up your power chord. Optional because it's the same note. So then my next A on the 4th string would be the 7th fret. So A, A, A. And the faster and faster you go, that's the whole point. And you're seeing where all these A's are. You're actually knowing where these notes are. And it will actually help you too when you play chords. You'll start to go, okay, I see that on the guitar. It's not always laid out just like the piano where it's root, 3rd, 5th, right? Sometimes you have a 5th on top of a 3rd and then a root. It's like all over the place. So that's why sometimes when we say don't pick this open string, like in an A minor or an A major, we don't have that 6th string ringing out, even though E is the 5th in both those chords. We don't want that to be the dominant note. So that's why we don't do that, because it will kind of override the chord. So okay, A, A, A. Now on our 3rd string, our 3rd string was, do you remember? It's E, A, D, G. So G, I'm going to go G, and the musical alphabet, sorry I left that out. So the musical alphabet only goes up to G. It goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So when I have G as my first note, that's when it starts over, so to A, and that's a whole step because it's not a natural half step. So here's our A. The 2nd fret, 3rd string. That Randy Rhoads, like, it always reminds me of that. That's a pretty cool one. So actually, if you have a guitar, that's a fun one to do, and it's just kind of in an A minor, and then it grabs that C. So it goes 2nd string, open, open, so pull off. And a pull off is you slap your finger down and you literally pull it off and drag it off. So it's 1 pick, 2 sounds. And then on the, I use my middle finger, so it's pointer. Just twice on the our new A note, G note now. So 2nd fret, 3rd string. Same thing on the string above, 4th string, 2nd fret, and then use that ring finger to grab that 5th string, 3rd fret. That's pretty cool. So again, 3rd string, 2nd fret. So let's review. 5th fret, 6th string. 5th string, 12th fret. 4th string, 7th fret, and then on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. So now we only have 2 strings left, and it's pretty easy because the 2nd string is the only one that's going to be different. Because again, the 1st string is an E, so is the 6th string, so it will be the same. So for our, and there's a shortcut to this actually. So if you were at home doing this alone, the 2nd string is B. So B and A are close together, but obviously we don't have we can't go lower, so where would we go? You don't have to count all the way up because you know that there's also a B on the 2nd, or on the 12th fret, 2nd string, so it would be a whole step above it on the 10th fret. So our last A that we had to figure out is the 2nd string, 10th fret, and then end with 1st string, 5th fret. So let's do them all. Oops, sorry, that was bad. So here. And you want to go and see them up and down and up and down and up and down. I know my guitar is a little crazier, but I have fret markers here, so that's why people don't always need them. But yes, so A, 5th fret, 6th string, 12th fret, 5th string, sorry, 4th string, 7th fret, 3rd string, 2nd fret, 2nd string, 10th fret, and our last one, the 1st string, 5th fret. So that's also a really cool way to do it. And we only have about 5 minutes. So I'm actually going to give you guys your discount code now, and then we're going to do Q&A time. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I want to give you a discount code to our Killer Guitar Control Secrets. This is all for the guitar player that wants their own voice on the guitar. We've talked about this before because it's something that I truly believe in and think it was just a lot of fun for me and a great help for me when I started to find my own voice on the guitar. It brought a lot more inspiration and a lot more fun. So this is going to cover 3 things. It's going to cover technique, which is all that stuff that I show you a lot. So hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, all these things that color our playing. And then the second thing we're going to do is our fretboard knowledge, which is a lot like what we talked about today. Notes, scales, arpeggios, chords, right? And then brain-hand connection. Your head out of your hands. So, you know, if you're going to sleep and you're writing music, you're like, how do I get that out of my head? This is for you. So this is for the guitar player that isn't so much about trying to be like somebody else, but wanting to find your own voice. And why I think this is so cool is because so much stuff out there, so much material that we can learn from is all telling us how to be like somebody else. And that's cool and all, but we really don't want to do that. Oh. Lewis, you can just not watch. That's so weird. I think people like to, I mean, let's see you play. I think people always like to try to pretend like they know things that they don't. Okay, so let's go ahead and give this to you guys. So, and remember, you can always just not watch. That's so weird. Okay. That's what you want, Richard? That's awesome. I'll give you the link. So I'm going to throw this into YouTube, and then I'm going to put it into Facebook. So here we go. Richard, this is your discount code, so make sure you use this so you get that discount. All right. There you go. So there it is in YouTube. Let's see. And now Facebook is taking a second to load, so I will give it to you in Facebook too. And yes, thank you guys so much for all the people that are tuning in every week when I come and do these. It's a lot of fun. So I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday. It changes some weeks just slightly, but always at 7 Central. So if you're ever wondering what day, you can always check at 7 Central. But you should get a notification if you like our page on Facebook, which is pretty cool too. So let's see. I'm going to grab this. Cool. All right. Bye, Lewis. Okay. Let's see, Facebook. This is for you guys. Raymond's asking me, is this info, are you talking about what I did today? Fretboard knowledge? Yes, that would be, it would be in there. So it would be the second category. It might be explained a little differently than I'm explaining it today. There probably is a lot of different tricks too. So not just my same tricks, but yes. So 3 things. Okay, let's see. Cool. Thank you, Carl. All right, so let's go ahead and open up the Q&A. While we're doing that, I'm going to show you guys those octave patterns I want to make sure that you knew. And so remember, whatever level that you are at, it doesn't really matter. You can always learn something. I always find it so frustrating and annoying too, because I mean, I guess I used to be, I mean, that guy looked pretty old, but I used to be, when I was a teenager, you know, more in the mindset of, oh, I need to play as fast as possible. I need to do all these things. And I found that the best guitar players were always learning from everybody. And I always thought that that was so cool. And when I started being like that, I felt like I improved a lot and just, it made so much healthier outlook and attitude, because you obviously don't know everything. And why not? You know, like I remember my teacher saying that he had a friend that was just this killer studio guy, and he'd always never brag, and you'd see him just on TV with Rihanna all of a sudden. He'd borrow a guitar from you, and he wouldn't tell you what he was doing, and then you'd see him on TV with, like, playing guitar for Rihanna. And he found beauty in everything on the guitar, the way it dropped and everything. And I learned a lot about that when I was recording at the studio too. So I always try to learn from anything and other people's perspectives too, because it might be different than yours, and it could give you a totally new perspective and new outlook, and you might write some cool new riffs or something else. That's awesome, Richard. All right. So let's see. Go ahead, and I'm going to open up that Q&A like I said, and then I'm gonna do, oh, thanks Shane, that's really sweet. Okay, so I'm just going to go off of starting where we were. So we did talk about how the cage system is based off all those chord shapes. You will notice this when I show you these patterns. We're going to have to go through them pretty fast because we are out of time. But let's go ahead and look at the guitar really quick. Excuse my no frets. So where we were in this shape, this chord shape, so this pattern, the octave patterns are A on the 6th string, right? We had 2 A's, so 6th and 1st are the same. And then our normal one. So this is probably the most comfortable one. So this pattern, this shape, this octave shape looks like this. And these are the same no matter what type of scale you are playing. Then we're going to go ahead and replace our finger with this note. That's our next one because of the tuning of the guitar. We kind of talked about that. So that's pointer on the 4th string, 7th fret, and our pinky is grabbing that A that we talked about before. The next one, so just like this, grabbing that 10th fret, 2nd string, and then grabbing the 5th string, 12th fret, and then just that normal one, but not, you know, it doesn't have 2 notes because it's not on the 6th string. So 5th string, 12th fret, but remember these patterns, these octave patterns stay the same, but obviously with the different notes the frets change. And then my ring finger grabs the octave on the 3rd string, 14th fret, and then this is our last one. So my pointer is on the 3rd string, 14th fret, and then I used my ring finger to grab the 17th fret on the 6th string, sorry, and then my pinky, or you can use your ring finger, whatever you want, to grab the high E, 17th fret, and then everything repeats. So those are the octave patterns. Those are also really helpful. Remember, if there's some holes in these lessons, check out our YouTube channel because these are live streams, so there is talking. These are live lessons, people. So check these out here every Tuesday and Thursday. And then check out our YouTube channel. So make sure you check that out. And we have tons of videos for myself and others. Press that little bell and subscribe to our notifications. And you will get a notification when we have new videos up. So we have tons of awesome teachers and tons of different topics and different teaching styles. And like I was saying, that's the best to learn. Thanks, Carl. Okay, let's see. So go ahead and we'll open up that Q&A for the last few minutes. And then I will catch you on Tuesday. Oh, hi, Mr. Pirate Brain. That's okay. I'll be, these all will be uploaded to YouTube. YouTube, it uploads like instantly, and of course, Facebook too. So it will be an actual video. And yes, also leave comments about other songs that you guys want to learn. So if there's something that you notice we haven't done, let me know. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Oh, it's not a new guitar, but yeah, you can hear me play. I just really like this guitar. All right. Cool. No, they are not active pickups. I like this tone. Oh, thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Hades Pit. All right. They Lie, Ohio. What am I covering Tuesday? That is a good question. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you guys. Carl, am I allowed to tell them what the other topics are? If I'm allowed to tell you, I'll tell you. But if not, tune in. All right, cool. But they are actually, again, there are topics that you guys are sending in. So thank you guys. It's also really cool to get those, to see the same people tuning in, have you guys learning with me. So it's really fun. I'm going to give you guys that discount code one more time. So thank you for hanging out with me. This is for our Killer Guitar Control Secrets. Again, this is all about how to be the best you. So it's going to cover a bunch of different things. It's going to cover techniques, which is what we were talking about, the speed picking, you know, slides, vibrato, bends. Those are all techniques. Pinch harmonics, hammer and pull off, right? These are all techniques. Fretboard knowledge, you know, we did the note game, we did things like that. So fretboard knowledge is knowing your fretboard. And hand-brain connection, getting what's in your head out of your hands. So make sure you check out this cool DVD. This is our discount code for you guys. So for hanging out with me today, I really appreciate it. I'm going to throw this into Facebook. Australia, that's awesome. Oh, I am allowed to tell you. So I will look it up and then I will tell you what Tuesday's topic is. And YouTube, I'm going to give this to you. There you go. So make sure you guys check this out. I'm going to look in my email and grab you that topic that you asked me about. But yes, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out this DVD. Again, this DVD is not for someone that doesn't want to sound like yourself, which I don't know who doesn't want to sound like themselves, so it's probably for you. But again, when I started playing and really coming into my own voice is when I really fell in love with the guitar. As fun as it is to learn other people's things, if I was sitting here and I sounded just like another guitar player, you probably wouldn't want to hang out with me or, you know, learn from me because I'd be just copying somebody else. So you want to have your own voice on the guitar, and that's when guitar gets to be something that's more expressive and it's more of an outlet, and it's a lot more fun. And the whole creative aspect comes in because you're not just mechanically learning something like somebody else. Okay, so Tuesday I'll be doing power chord riffs. So check that out, and then I think you guys will like the topic after that a lot too because it's a more advanced topic. So make sure you come check that out. Give me some examples of songs if you guys want to learn specific songs, and you can do that. David, click that link and it will tell you. Oh, thanks, Bad Union. That's awesome. So thank you guys for hanging out and checking all these out. I'm going to check on you one last time. Oh, thank you. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I will see you Tuesday. All right, thanks. Check out those DVDs and for sure subscribe to our YouTube channel. Those are free videos every day.